Well, it is Young Conservatives Week here on Mornings with Maria, and we are now just one day away from the ABC News presidential debate in Philadelphia. And former President Donald Trump is maintaining his lead over Vice President Kamala Harris nationally with voters. A New York Times Siena College poll, brand new, finds that 48% of likely voters support Trump, 47% back Harris. Harris is struggling to win over support from some of these traditional Democratic voters that have been in her court prior, women, young voters, Latino voters. The poll also finds that more voters consider Harris to be too liberal or progressive on key policy issues than they consider Trump to be too conservative. Meanwhile, the Harris-Walz campaign set to kick off a 4-day campaign blitz through major swing states right after the debate. I want to bring in GOP national spokesperson Elizabeth Pipko. It's great to have you here, Elizabeth. Talk to me about some of the findings in this New York Times Siena poll, in particular, the changes that we've seen among the young voters' support for Harris. Now, she still leads, especially in that 18 to 29 category, she still leads 51% to 43% over Donald Trump, but those numbers have slipped just a little bit. What are young people seeing in these two candidates?
Yeah, good morning. First of all, thank you for having me. Very excited to be here for Young Conservative Week. Look, the fact is Donald Trump has changed the dynamic here, right, when it comes to what we are looking for and when it comes to what these two political parties believe that they can bring in, right, who they can bring into the tent. You mentioned Kamala Harris slipping not only with young voters, but also with major groups that they've kind of been relying on for election after election. That's female voters, that's Hispanic voters, black voters, Jewish voters. We've seen this shift over the years now since Donald Trump kind of came onto the scene, because we've learned that the Democrats can no longer just rely on these votes and take them for granted, because Donald Trump brings something different, right? Something different not only from Kamala Harris, but from many of the candidates that came before him on the left and the right. He wants to inspire the future that obviously includes the youth, and wants to bring something to the table that candidates have not brought forth before. There's a reason people appreciate his transparency, right? His willingness to talk to the American people a lot more than they appreciate Kamala Harris hiding from the people. Young voters are not stupid. They are desperate for inspiration. They are desperate for that kind of leadership. And that's why them, along with female, Jewish, black, Hispanic, and so many others, are turning in the other direction towards Donald Trump.
Let me ask you this. A couple of things I want to unpack out of what you just said. First off, with these younger voters, we have seen this incredible gender divide among, young males exponentially trending towards former President Trump, these younger females, and I'm assuming this is the abortion issue, trending towards Kamala Harris. That's one thing, but that's a stark split I want to ask you about within your generation. And then the other would be the influence of social media, TikTok, Instagram in particular. It seems that your generation is more influenced by what they're saying online than maybe what they would see tomorrow night on the debate stage.
Yeah, look, it's interesting. I actually wanted to answer your first question by pointing to social media. I've noticed that a lot of young people take their advice from social media, and there's a reason that we see this really stark shift between female voters and male young voters, especially the young ones. It's because they are targeted in very specific ways on social media, because both parties know that that is now the place to find these candidates. At the same time, I don't want to underestimate young voters. I know that they're looking at social media, but I do believe they'll be watching tomorrow. I believe they're looking for help in the future. I believe no matter what their celebrities and their heroes are telling them to do, I think they want to own a home. They want to pay off their student loans. They want to get married and have families. And that's why they are going to be listening to the two candidates tomorrow and seeing if they can put forward a plan for them so they can feel comfortable and confident in their American futures.
Well, I think the other big question, too, is they may be registered to vote. Maybe somebody signed them up, but will they actually show up? And that is always the question mark with younger voters. Liz Peek is on set with me. She's got a question for you.
Yeah, to your point, Cheryl, actually, in this New York Times poll, it shows that younger voters are not quite so, they're not saying they absolutely will vote, whereas older voters, the very high percentage, say they absolutely will. My question is, what is the Republican Party doing in terms of campaigning via social media? Are they doing a good job? Are the Democrats doing better? Obviously, Democrats have a whole slew of celebrities they can haul in to help them, and I think that's important on social media. But what's your read on this?
You're 100% right. The Democrats own the mainstream, right? They have a lot of celebrities that are on their side and obviously utilizing social media to their best abilities leading up to Election Day. But with that, we're also using social media. We're looking at the actual issues that matter to people, especially young people, the economy being one of those issues, and pointing out just how much Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have failed these last 4 years. We're utilizing social media in the same way the Democrats are, but maybe by actually bringing the young folks the policies that matter to them and not just the singers that matter to them, right? So we're going in the same direction, using the same tools, but making sure that we can hit them with actually what is going to affect their future.
So is TikTok bigger than Twitter or X, excuse me, for young voters?
I think for very young voters, it would be, but there's a lot of those that are actually under 18 on TikTok, so we're not focused on them just yet, but it's definitely coming up, and it's something that we have to watch, right? Because it's new in this election. We've never seen that before.
And it's huge. It's huge. I've only got just less than a minute here, but Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders was facing questions about Vice President Harris flip-flopping on policy, and all of this came out about the progressive side. Watch what he said.
Do you think that she is abandoning her progressive ideals?
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election. My own view is slightly different. I support Medicare for all. She does not. She has another approach toward moving toward universal health care.
What do you make of that response?
Look, there's a lot to be said for those that put, winning an election behind their ideals or vice versa. I don't really care to know what Bernie Sanders or anyone else has to say. I want Kamala Harris to tell me what she stands for, right? That's what we're all looking for. At the same time, let's remember Donald Trump wants this country to be great. He puts that above any party's agenda. I can't say the same for Kamala Harris or any of the candidates really that came before them.
I love your generation. You always speak your mind very clearly. Elizabeth Pipko, thank you so much for being here and kicking off Young Conservatives Week with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll be right back, everybody.